UFC Orlando happened this weekend, and I'm here to recap it. For those of you that haven't watched UFC Orlando, lots of knockouts, all finishes on the main card. We're here to talk about it. If you didn't see it, I'm going to fill you in. My name's Jack. Subscribe. Let's get into this. Now, something interesting about this card is that, first of all, 7 fights were on the main card. Originally, there were supposed to be only 6, but because I think the prelims went longer than expected, they actually had to fit 1 extra card in the main card. But I'm not going to get to I'm going to get to the actual main card. Eric Anders, we had him on the show. Now, Kyle Daukaus, up until this point, hasn't had the best streak. He did win a fight earlier in the year, but he's had a lot of bad luck with the headbutt with Kevin Holland and getting knocked down in the first round in Austin. So there's a lot riding on this fight, and Kyle Daukaus got knocked out in the second round. As what I predicted was going to happen. I told everybody on my prediction video, don't count Eric Anders out. We had him on the show. We had that good luck, and he got the win. Like I said, one of the biggest things is if Kevin Holland could defend a Kyle Daukaus takedown, and I know, like I said, I know Kevin Holland's been working on takedown defense, but I think Eric Anders could defend those takedowns as well. The fight was just on the feet, and from there, Eric just had the advantage and took full advantage and won the fight. Now, after that, we had Roman Dolidze versus Jack Hermansson. Jack Hermansson was supposed to fight Derek Brunson. He was presented with a totally different matchup, a striker rather than just a wrestler. Accepted it. This is the second time he accepted a late replacement from a guy that wasn't even ranked. So Jack Hermansson faced off against Roman Dolidze, but Roman, to a lot of people's surprise, won the fight. Roman knocked him out in the second round, TKO on the ground. Roman is a guy that I said going into this, look, Roman is a dangerous guy, but I thought that overall Jack was going to be the better MMA fighter. He was going to incorporate more grappling and also mix up with the takedowns, mix in with the striking. But Roman Dolidze has proven that he is dangerous, and man, I mean, coming from not even ranked to fighting, I think, the number 8th guy or 7th guy in the world, that is a big career boost for him, and now he could probably fight guys in that top 10 range, maybe even top 5 depending. Maybe we can get Derek Brunson versus Roman Dolidze next for Derek Brunson's retirement fight, but Roman wins to everyone's surprise. Jack Hermansson absolutely dominated in that second round. The next fight was the fight that I think a lot of people don't want to talk about. Tai Tuivasa faced off against Sergey Pavlovich. Now, like I said, Sergey is a guy that, other than his 3 decisions, all of his fights have been by first round knockouts. He has 1 loss to Alistair Overeem where he got knocked out, and that was like 5 years ago or something like that. But other than that, that was it. The guy has really only caught steam as of lately when he fought Derek Lewis. But I think this guy has the potential to be a big star. The guy hits hard, but let's get into the fight. The fight didn't last long. These heavyweights, they're both hard hitting. You know, at the end of the day, like I said on my video, it's 50-50. Whoever finds the chin first is gonna win. Sergey found the chin, pressed Tai up against the cage, and I mean, Tai has a chin. You saw him against Gane and you saw him against Derek Lewis. So the fact that Sergey hits that hard is unbelievable. And I honestly want to see him against Cyril Gane next. Or Curtis Blades would be a good one too. Test out his wrestling. If Curtis Blades isn't going to fight against John Jones, but I don't think Curtis Blades is going to fight against John Jones. I think it's going to be Gane or Ngannou. But I would like to see Curtis Blades and Sergey, actually. I think that's more realistic what will happen. Next, Matt Chanel versus Mateus Nicolau. Matt Chanel had a great performance last time out. He got hurt, was able to recover, and got the knockout win. This time, man, Nicolau really showed that standout performance. Like I said, this is what this guy needed. He needed that knockout. Guys weren't really talking about him, but now that he has that knockout and had a really good win, I think a lot of guys are going to be talking about this guy in title contention, talking about him against guys like Alex Perez, Alexandre Pantoja, Kai Kara France, like those types of guys. So a good win for him. Co-main event, RDA, Brian Barberena. Now, I said in this fight, you know, I didn't actually know the lines going into the fight when I did my original video, but I said I thought this fight was a 50-50 fight, and I did think that RDA would be a kind of like a minus 200 favorite, but I was surprised at the minus 550 line that was out there. I mean, RDA was a huge favorite. From bell to bell, dominant, got the submission win, showed that Barberena shouldn't even have gone in there, and I think RDA, I don't think it's time for RDA to give up and say, hey, I'm not fighting these young guys, man. RDA still has some gas in the tank. He had a good fight against Rafael Fiziev. I would like to see him fight lightweights or welterweights. I think lightweights probably his division, but, you know, actually maybe try to go for a title, you know, and see how far he can get. I understand if he just wants these fun kind of veteran type fights. Now, what everyone's waiting for, the main event, Kevin Holland, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Let's get into it. First round, man, Kevin Holland rocked Stephen Thompson. I mean, I was going crazy. I was like, please don't finish Wonderboy in round 1. I mean, I love both of these guys, but I just wanted this one maybe to go to a nice decision. And man, he was all over him, but somehow Stephen Wonderboy recovered. I mean, he has a chin, Wonder Boy, because you saw in his fight with Tyron Woodley. I mean, you know, the only question mark was really his age, but the guy has a chin. But that shot that Kevin Holland landed actually broke his hand, as everybody knows by now, leaving basically Kevin Holland debilitated through the whole fight. And then from there, basically, it was kind of like what I said in my prediction. Look, Wonder Boy is definitely the more technical fighter, and he is going to win technically, but you never know with Kevin Holland's power, and that's what it was. Kevin Holland's right hand was really removed, which helped Wonder Boy tremendously, and he was basically able to do whatever he wanted. Battered Kevin Holland for like 3 rounds after that. Eventually the corner stopped it, because thank God, because his hand was just broken. He wasn't able to defend himself. There was nothing he could do, and it was a fight of the night performance. I mean, I feel like I'm underselling this thing. This was so much back and forth. I mean, Wonder Boy showed, hey, I'm not gone. I am not this old guy. I'm not just a 40-year-old fighter in the UFC. No, I am number 6 in the world. For Wonder Boy, man, who do you face him off against? I mean, like, the guy has shown in the upper level, in my opinion, when it comes to the grappling, it's a problem for him. I mean, and I love Wonder Boy, but the fight with Burns, the fight with Bilal, able to defend takedowns as well as I think he used to be, or maybe people are just getting better at wrestling, or these are just better wrestlers, whatever you want to look at it. If you're looking at it ranking-wise, I guess the thing that makes sense is either a Masvidal rematch, or at ranking-wise, which makes sense, would be a Khamzat Chimaev, but obviously, you know, we know how the Khamzat and Wonder Boy fight would probably go. I think most people would guess, but I'm just talking about in terms of the numbers, not necessarily the matchups themselves. So I would probably go with like a Jorge Masvidal type fight. I think Wonder Boy beats Jorge again. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of UFC Orlando, and tune in this week for more predictions. UFC 282 coverage this whole week. If you want to see me talk about Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora, please click on the screen. You know, you can see me talk about it. I talk about their history, their fight. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.